And this is...
Pierre Schryer.
Yay!
We.
Indeed. So, a few questions.
Sure.
First question, how old were you when you started playing music?
Playing music, yes. Well, I would have dabbled a bit with my older brother's fiddle at a young age, because Raymond, he's well known, he's a luthier as well, played when he was 9 years old, and we were about 3 years old. And I'm a triplet. You knew that. Does everybody else know that? And so the triplets got to fool around on a fiddle, just the bowing, at 3 or 4 years old. But seriously taking lessons, and I remember the day my parents sat all three of us down on the couch, and we knew there was a meeting in the kitchen. It was pretty serious. We kind of knew something was up. We were 8 years old when I asked the question, do you want to take lessons? And we all said yes.
That's so
and
cute.
and then we took classical lessons, and the fiddling was in the house already. My sister Julie played piano, and my brother Raymond, of course, was playing fiddle, and we were going to the fiddle contests at 3.5 years old, 4 years old. So so we got into the mode and got hooked, and all three of us were just like, it started the Schryer triplets.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the group.
The world famous Schryer triplets now.
Wow.
When you're together.
No, that's a lot of good years there. So that's a long time ago.
Yeah? Oh, that's so cool though.
Yeah.
Nice. And who's been your biggest musical influence growing up?
Well, the first one would have been my brother, Raymond. And we had an uncle, they call him Grandpa Bud, and he was a fiddle player in the family, so he influenced Raymond at that age. He was interested, but obviously was part of the family musical scene as well. Influences, my God, there's so many of them.
I know, right?
The early ones, of course. I got, it was the triplets too. We were helping each other.
Yeah.
We were gravitating towards different styles at a certain age. When we did competition fiddling, we also had some influences there too. Mine was, Don Reed was one of them, my brother Raymond, Chuck Joyce was another one. A lot of people, of course, Graham Townsend was another one. So those were, so those champions were kind of the influence at first. But, getting into the wide range of fiddle music, Jean Cagnan from Quebec was one of my heroes. There's so many of them. But Irish was really a major part of my life at some point, and I really just gravitated, like my other brothers gravitated towards different styles, but I got to hear it. Louis really loved Johnny Gimbel, so I got to hear that, and of course that was an influence as well. But for Irish, I guess Andy McGann was one of them. Frankie Gavin was one. Sean McGuire, that was another, and that was introduced by my brother Raymond. And Denis Langteau as well. He's another influence from the Ottawa Valley, but he played a lot of Jean Cagnan stuff and Sean McGuire. But it was like my brother helped bring in these LPs. So the Sean McGuire influence of fiddle was kind of my brother's influence there.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Same with the story behind Jean Cagnan playing all this Irish music. He played Coleman stuff. Yeah. My good friend Leo Brown, who's a good friend of Daniel Laps and mine, he passed away a few years ago. He was the one that influenced Jean Cagnan with the LPs from Ireland to hear these Michael Coleman albums. So that's
full circle.
He told me the whole story.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing. So it's a full circle. Yeah. So major influences along the way, and it still continues. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow. A lot of those are all my big influences as well. So
Good. Cool.
Good. Who's your favorite fiddler?
Oh my God. You. It's like the right answer. Favorite fiddler. I don't have one favorite fiddler. There are many.
Yeah.
but I can't pinpoint one favorite, or, you know, yeah, there's a lot, and not only fiddle players. I have favorite musicians.
Yeah.
That I listen to, and they don't really have to play the fiddle.
Yeah.
And there are really, really great friends out there that I continue collaborating with.
Yeah.
And I find that when I collaborate with certain people, that at that moment I feel that they're my favorite player to play with.
Yeah.
Because in those realms I get to flex a bit my musical world. And that's always a nice challenge, but also just the synergy, if you can find a synergy there, and that's, for me, that's very important, connection and energy, but also the musicality, to bring it to a certain level, then that becomes my favorite player at that moment. But there's a lot of great players out there. It's hard to name.
I know.
Just, a few.
Yeah, that's why this is the hardest question. But it's also interesting because everyone has a different answer too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And there's another thing where you have to have a relationship with your own playing as well.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't have to say, well, I played that tune really great. No, you have a relationship with it, saying, what can I do to make that different, where I can bring it up to the next level? Why does that person sound so great? Or why is that person to me is... So that relationship with yourself is the same. You keep growing it and pushing it forward, and let it evolve naturally. If you really go deep and continue with the voice that you want to create with. Yeah, it's very important.
Yeah.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
interesting place that you've traveled to with music?
Interesting. Favorite? I have
Whatever
favorites.
you want, sure, whatever. In any way, really, right? It could be
There's a
it was
few
interesting or it could be
gigs that I've
favorite.
done.
Yeah, I know. It could be whatever, however you want to shape that question.
Well, favorites for me would be, Ireland.
Yeah,
I always love going back there in Scotland.
me too.
Not only because of the music, it's because of the people.
Yep.
Of course, in Canada we have great spots too, and my heritage is French Canadian, so I love going back to Quebec. That's important. But I guess for interesting, there's a story once that happened and it was great. I went to Havana, Cuba, to play a gig. It was a cigar festival. It was very odd. So they were featuring Canadian. French or Canadian.
Yeah.
There were cuisine and music and other things. It was a gig that two of the band members got there. Myself and another band member got there early enough to be there to enjoy. The third member, and I won't name any names, but if they watch this, they'll blush a bit. But they didn't have their passports issued on time. And apparently there was a big rush and they paid lots of money to get it rushed. They were late by 2 days and they were actually all worked out with my agent that helped this person. We were like, what's going to happen? The presenter's a little not so happy here. So he arrives just on time and we're doing sound check and we're on in about an hour and he gets flown in that same day. He gets taxied in, sorry.
Yeah.
Literally like 55 minutes before we start playing.
Oh
and
my goodness.
We just barely reached on stage and like, wow.
Here we are.
This is stressful. The presenter wasn't happy either, so.
Oh my goodness.
But we did a nice show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many crazy gig stories. That same thing happened to me, and there was 3 of us, and one of the band members got held up in the Toronto airport, and for whatever reason, no real reason actually, it was just confusion and whatever. And we did one gig as a duo, and then we were like, please, I hope you arrive here for the last 3 days.
Well, there's drama happening all the time.
I know.
Touring when you tour.
Yeah.
It's stressful sometimes, eh?
It is.
And then travel,
It is stressful, yeah.
And costly too.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to
yeah.
interesting places. Yeah, airports.
Yeah, the most interesting place I've traveled is all the airports, getting through everywhere with the visas.
It's a good time to practice and rehearse. If you have your instruments, some people, over the years, band members have lost their instruments as well. That's stressful as well.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
One more question.
One more.
Last one.
Oh.
What's your favorite dessert?
Oh. Well, there's a few. I don't have much of a sweet tooth, but when I was a kid, I don't know what the other boys were asking for their birthday cake, but my birthday cake was not a cake.
Okay.
It was meringue, lemon meringue pie.
That's my favorite too.
It was always and then my mom would do it.
That's what I got for my birthday this year.
The candles don't hold very well. So there you go.
That's amazing. Oh, I love it. That sounds so funny.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, there you go.
Cheers.
Thanks so much for doing this. It's been so fun. It's always fun playing.
Thank you. What was I going to say? I lost my track of mind. Train of thought.
Yeah. I like your track of mind.
Track of mind.
Track of mind.
Train
The train went off the tracks.
Oh my god.
No.
So anyways, there you go. I don't know. So that's an artistic level.
Yeah.
Explanation.
Real deep.
Let's pull back a bit now. It's the first take, that's the best. That's great.
That was good. That was fun.
Awesome. Okay.